All right, welcome to the FA40 podcast, the podcast for fitness after 40. My name is Josh Proch, and I'll be your host today. And today's topic, we're going to talk about training around injuries and how we do that with our clients in here. Before we get started with that, we do have a couple announcements. This Friday, which actually, if you're listening to this the day this comes out, it'll actually be tonight, we have our volunteer day at Inspired Hearts and Hands. So we, the PNF staff and the members, we're going out there. We're going to help them package up food for their Easter food drive, checking expiration labels, things like that. So if you're one of our members, you're listening to this and you want to come out and participate in that, that'll be this Friday again, 4:30 till 6:30 there. We've reserved that time to go out as a gym in a community there to help them. Aside from that, we do have, for our members, we've got a new challenge here that we're going to be releasing next week for the month. So this is just part of our monthly challenges that we do each month for members to kind of just keep them engaged, keep them, focusing on different aspects of fitness to help them get better results and everything like that, but also just make it a little more fun, have some little things to focus on, and based on how you do, we always do some raffles and give out some prizes and things like that. So And yeah, if you're currently not a member and you like what we do and you're interested in what we do, give us a call. We'll sit down and talk to you and see if we are the right fit for you. So, all right. So before we moving into today's episode and training around injury, this is something it's common. Everybody from time to time they get hurt, whether it's muscles get pulled, they get overworked. Maybe they get hurt skiing, they get hurt, on the golf course with like some tennis or some golfer's elbow or tennis elbow. Daily activities, maybe they fall and bruise something, tweak something, things like that. So it could be anything. I mean, we see all different types of injuries, but the common thing is that when these things come up, there's very rarely do we need to stop exercising. We just need to modify, and we need to work around it and make some changes that way. Because then when we come back and once we're rehabbed and we're healed, we can just pick back up and we didn't lose that ground from having a hard stop with our training. However, that's what a lot of people do. They're like, oh, I can't use my knee's bummed right now. I can't use that. And they just stop. And what happens, there's a lot of stuff that we can do. We can still work on upper body stuff and even the lower body. There's a lot of stuff we can do working around that knee to just keep as much strength there as possible. And we've done this with people with all sorts of injuries, coming back from surgeries, different things like that. And, we aren't able to push necessarily as hard and things like that, but we're still able to work. And that's the main thing that I kind of want to just get across to everybody today is just that mindset shift of, something's hurting right now and working around it versus I need to stop everything and not do anything and pick back up once I'm ready. Because that can lead to a lot of other issues and even some health issues and things like that if we're kind of like stopping and things like that. So some of the typical injuries that we see, more commonly are around the shoulders, the back, the knees, hips, ankles, wrists, elbows, kind of those. But there's all kinds of stuff. And typically these are related to overuse. Say something through like the wrists and elbows. We see a lot with golfing, tennis, pickleball, different things like that we just start getting some, inflammation in there and we start getting an itis of one of those joints. But we also see, especially with golfers, we see back injuries that usually is related from swing mechanics. And also some of these overuse, they're just due to our day-to-day activity and how somebody's doing something just through their work or through their job. A lot of back issues are related to back and hip issues are related to sitting too much. And then also these can be related to sleep position, and they can be, made like worsened through how we're sleeping. one of the things, especially with shoulders and back stuff, is the position that people are sleeping in just tends to aggravate the issue that's going on, and is sometimes even the culprit of the whole thing, that we need to get that fixed. And that's hard to do. You can start out in that, position on your side, or, however is recommended with that. But throughout the night, as you're moving around, you end up back in that bad position. And I've seen that a lot, where it's really how the person is sleeping that's causing the main problem, or they're sitting too much, and that's the problem. And those are what is the underlying issue that needs addressed. And until that gets addressed, the problem never really gets better. It may, have some flare-ups, go away a little bit, but it's still kind of always there. So again, most of these overuse things are going to be what I call itis. So, like some type of tendonitis, things like that. And that's where it's just inflammation based. And the other thing, if we see that it is an inflammatory issue, we need to do things to control that inflammation. And one of the biggest things is we need to get ice on that. Usually 20 minutes every day, getting it on there until it's better. And I usually like to take it a week after it doesn't hurt anymore, just to make sure. And when it's shoulders, when it's knees, elbows, all that stuff, it can be hard to sit there with an ice pack on. However, they do make some nice ice packs that they kind of wrap around, and there's Velcro and things like that. And they even have some of them are like compression, so you can pump them up a little bit so they hold tight, and you can still keep doing things. I've used these on my shoulders and elbows myself, and they work really well. So you can still kind of keep doing some things. You're not just sitting there like holding this ice pack on there. But that really, really helps a lot. So looking at most people's injuries and why they happen, is they're mostly related to movement issues. Very rarely is, they're movement issues that can relate to structural issues, but they can also that cause problems there too. It's very rare that the injury is caused from like blunt trauma, like an accident or getting hit with something or things like that. I mean, those issues where things get broken, that's a whole kind of another ball game there. But most of these, muscular issues, they're related to poor movement mechanics. And this is why, a lot of times when people go to their doctor and their doctor tells them not to exercise anymore, that's really bad advice. There's stopping will make that pain go away, but the issue's still going to be there. And when they start back up, it's going to come right back because nothing ever got fixed. And and that being said, anytime I always look at it, anytime a doctor tells you that you need to stop, stop all activity and things like that, I'm skeptical of that, and I really that's a red flag that you need to go get a second opinion. Obviously, there are cases where that is true. But they're definitely that the majority of the time that's not the case. There's still ways to work around it and everything like that. And at the same time, rehabbing through it, we need to address that underlying movement issue. So why do we have this back pain? Why are we getting the shoulder pain or whatever it is? What's causing that to happen? We need to do that. And a lot of times when you just go into your doctor or your sports doctor there and stuff, these doctors, it isn't really a knock on them, but they're trained in surgery and they're not necessarily trained in body mechanics and how everything moves and muscles move and things like that. So their main thing is surgery, and if it's not ready for surgery, it's just refer them out to PT. And again, PT can be really good and PT can not be so good. It just kind of depends on how they're working with people. If they're working with you one-on-one, it's good. If it's working in a large group where it's kind of you're just getting dropped into a bucket, I've seen that's just not, people don't get the best results with that. So, and again, a lot of this stuff, doesn't always require, surgery or rehab or anything like that. And I've even seen sometimes with the PT stuff, they're working the small muscles around there, getting those stronger. But again, there's a bigger movement issue going on that you might have something to do with a joint above and below the actual injury area that causes that problem. And that can be, that needs addressed as well too. We see this a lot of times with knee issues. The ankles will be super tight, and that's what's causing the knee to be a problem. So the joints through our body, they basically run through a series of stable, mobile, stable, mobile. Well, the ankle joint's a mobile joint and the knee's a stable joint. But if that ankle is really tight and locked up, it's now become a stable joint. So the joints above and below are going to have to become mobile, or going to want to move mobile, and that's where you run into some issues. So the knee then starts becoming mobile when it's supposed to be stable, and that's when we get pain. The same thing can happen in the hips, to happen up in the back, all of that sort of stuff. So we need to look at all of that, and then address how we can fix that. And some of the things that we use in here in the gym is when people start, we do an FMS with them and we look at their movement screens. We have an app system that we've just started using with that, and it actually creates corrective exercises for them based on their limitations and gives them homework, basically. Like here's a handful of exercises that we want you to do that you're going to help you move better. You can come in maybe 10 minutes before your workout, go through these. And, if you're one of our members that's been with us a little bit longer and you haven't, we didn't have, like I said, we just got this about a month ago. If you want to go through that FMS and get that, let us know. We'll be glad to sit down with you, take you through that FMS. It takes about 10 minutes. And give you some, specific correctives that are just for you that you can do before your workout sessions. You can do them days you don't come here, but it's all going to help you move better, and that's going to help your body get in better shape and be more injury resistant and things like that. So, how do we accommodate around injury and kind of why here? So, a lot of times it's lifestyle issues, so we need to fix the lifestyle issue. Now we have with the Bluetooth and the headsets and things like that, we don't have the phones that we're like holding up onto one ear, which 10 years ago we saw a lot of issues with neck and shoulder pain from that. But now we're seeing we're getting more and more sedentary, and we're seeing a lot of tight hips, no glute activation at all. And this is creating, pain in the low back, in through the hips and everything on people. A lot of people, when you look at them standing up, they can't stand up completely tall, or they can't get their hips fully extended because they're so tight on their hip flexors, and their glutes, their butt muscles are so weak that they no longer can get themselves up into an full upright position. Well, that's going to create low back pain because now we're tilted forward and all that stress is on those low back muscles. So we need to, one, adjust the lifestyle, and two, we need to address the tight muscles and the weak muscles and get those feeling better there. Something that I think is great is getting a standing desk, or a desk that you can raise from seated to standing from there. So again, you're not just sitting in that chair all day. Even a treadmill desk. Tammy actually just got one of these. I wasn't sure how, I would like it or anything like that, but it's not bad. You just put it on like 1 mile an hour. You're going really slow, but you're just moving the whole time. And that takes pressure off of your body. And again, you might not do that for all 8 hours, but you maybe do that for, a little bit of the day, and then you're back in your, seated, and you're just kind of moving around. Those are some ways to do that. You can also just get up from your desk and just go do some stretches and just, walk around your office real quick, go, anything like that, just to get some movement. And then in your workouts, if we're seeing, hey, we've got a knee thing going on, well, there's going to be certain things that we're not going to do, but there's also going to be a lot of other things that we can do. So whatever that issue is, we just keep working, we just work around it, and keep that progress going, and that keeps your body healthier. Because again, there's very few instances where no exercise is the answer. Stopping altogether is only going to make the problem worse. It's not good for our health. A lot of people, the only activity they do get is inside the gym. The rest, they're more sedentary. They're sitting at a desk. They don't do a lot of activity outside of the gym. So if they're not doing any exercise, that's going to be not good for their health. And so this way we keep things moving. And again, it's not going to be, the exercises won't, or the workouts won't be maybe as intense. But that all depends too on what's going on. So like I said, when we started this episode, was just, I wanted to just help you kind of get that mindset change around, when things hurt, that we want to look at first, why is it hurting? What's the movement issue that's causing that? And then it doesn't, this thought of like, I need to stop. No, let's find a solution. Let's work around it. And it may take a little bit of working. There might be some trial and error on some things, but just kind of getting that mindset shift around there. Because like I said, until we get that movement corrected, and that movement issue that's causing the problem, that issue that you're having, it's always going to be there. That being said, like I did say at the beginning, there are a few instances where yes, you do need to stop. There's something that is going on that is, it's going to be harmful if you keep going. But again, most of the time that's not the case. Those are definitely your more rare instances there. And things like that. So again, if you guys have questions about this, let me know. I'll be glad to talk to you a little bit more about it. If you have some things that are bothering you, by all means, let us know. We can adjust this in your workout. That's what we're here for. I mean, that's why it's called personal training, is making it personal and individualized for you. And it's not about, doing what everybody else is doing and things like that. Like that's our job, is to find the solution for you, to make your body stronger, make your bodies healthier. And, when these things pop up, that's all part of it. And that's what we're here and, what we're trained to help you with. So, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Again, if you guys aren't a member and you're listening and you're interested in what we do, or you have questions, send those over. We do have a 6-week trial that we're offering right now. It's $199, but it lets you try out everything we offer. You get the semi-private personal training 3 times a week. We do a starting point session, in-body, a nutrition blueprint. You get unlimited access to our boot camp and boxing classes. So pretty much, like I said, access to everything, and try it out, see if you like it. If we're the fit for you, we'd love to have you. So reach out. And again, any questions, shoot them over. We can maybe make a podcast episode out of those too. So, all right, guys, have a great day.